It's the B is we're rooted and we're here to say, reviewing movies that we're doing today. It's the Mario movies. It's the Mario movies. We're doing both of them. Okay, so this is the Super Mario live action movie that came out in 1990 something. I want to see if I can find it.
1990, I forget because I don't care.
1993. It stars John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. Bob Hoskins, of course, if you've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he was the star of that movie. This movie here is a total disaster.
And what's funny is the actors knew it too.
The script for this movie literally strikes me as that somebody just gave them the story for the Super Mario Brothers video game, but no other references, no pictures, no this is a video game.
There's actually a YouTube that talks about the whole story with this, and I think it went through multiple directors, and no one knew what was actually going on until they got there at that moment.
Point, like they said that Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were just drinking almost every day they shot because they figured, like, what's the point? Like, why are we even here? Let's just collect our paycheck and let's just do what we got to do to get through this. This movie is bad, but not horrible.
It's horrible. At a point where you knew it was Super Mario Brothers and you were expecting to be Super Mario Brothers, but it's not Super Mario Brothers and it has like no connection to Super Mario Brothers. And it actually does what Street Fighter the movie did. It takes the source material and completely breaks it because you don't have Princess Peach. You have Princess Daisy, which is a character in Super Mario Brothers, but that's Luigi's character.
She's from Super Mario Land in the grander Mario scheme, which at the point this didn't come out. Like none of this was happening at the time, but she ends up becoming Luigi's wife, girlfriend.
Luigi Squeegee.
Yeah, which they do play off in the movie, where in the movie Luigi is the one who's smitten by her. So they do get that part right. None of the characters are anything you expect it to be. It's almost like if they didn't call it Super Mario Brothers and it was just some random sci-fi movie that came out, it might be remembered as a cult classic.
None of the world was anything what you were expecting it to be. It was like some weird crime-ridden New York.
Oh, like when they go to the underworld or the Mario world. In the video game and in the animated movie, it's this magical wonderland, but in the 1993 Bob Hopkins classic, it is what New York is like today.
Even the Koopas, you didn't have any sort of enemy that was even remotely close to what was in Super Mario Brothers.
It's like, I want to read the instruction manual for Super Mario Brothers, and then I'm going to take a bunch of acid and write a movie script. And that's what this movie is.
Well, no, I wouldn't even say that because the instruction manual is going to at least tell you a little bit about the history and the enemies. This one is like they just knew it was a Super Mario was a plumber and he tried to save a princess from an evil dinosaur guy. And then so they're like, okay, well, let's make everybody dinosaur things because those sure weren't any sort of turtles. I don't know what the heck those things were that they made.
Well, it's supposed to be a parallel universe where instead of humans being offshoots of primates, they're offshoots of dinosaurs. And I get that. That has nothing to do with Super Mario.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So because Super Mario is the Mushroom Kingdom, not the Reptile Kingdom, you know. And they got Harry Potter's aunt is in this movie. She's the henchman for Bowser. What's the actor's name? Dennis Hopper. This movie isn't it like so bad it's good though?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's so bad it's good. I think it's so bad it's bad. I mean, this is something that I wouldn't sit down and watch. Like I'd watch Cool as Ice because Cool as Ice is so bad it's good it's funny. This I would never watch. Period. It comes on, I turn it off instantly.
Fiona Shaw, she plays the henchwoman to King Koopa. If you remember, I mentioned this already. She is in the Harry Potter movie. She plays Harry Potter's aunt, Petunia. Dennis Hopper, he's been in a bunch of movies. In fact, if I just look at a quick idea of what he's been in Hoosiers and Speed and the original True Grit from 1969.
And he's not happy he was in this.
And we got Samantha Mathis. She plays Princess Daisy. She's been in The Last Rainforest, Little Women, The Thing Called... These are all movies I've never seen. The American President, I saw that. Broken Arrow, I might have seen. American Psycho, I have seen that. Oh, I think she was one of the girlfriends in American Psycho. So some of these people in the court, like John Leguizamo, he's going on and he's done all kinds of stuff. And along with Bob Hoskins, I said that he was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, along with a bunch of other movies.
And the person I was thinking, Fisher Stevens was the one I was thinking of.
Fisher Stevens is Iggy.
He, back in that time frame, he was pretty famous too.
It's not like a bunch of nobodies making this movie. It's just they gave the movie to people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. And if you look at the documentary, these were first-time filmmakers given the keys and millions of dollars, and people who have done this before under them saying, "Why are you making me listen to this asshole?" And it caused all kinds of friction. And you can watch the movie, and it barely makes sense.
It was all it expected to sell just because it was
Super Mario Brothers, yeah. It's like that movie that there's that one movie company in Germany where they literally buy all the movie rights for video game movies and then they make shitty versions of it, but all they're trying to do is get the tax credits because they actually make money off the tax credits. The tax credits equal or they exceed how much the movies cost to make. This way, even if it makes $1 at the movie theater, they're making that $1. It's crazy. That's why, like, if you remember, like, I think it's like 10 years ago, all these really bad video game movies started coming out, and that was why.
But that was with like Uwe Boll as the director, right? Like you had like let's see, House of the Dead, Blood Rain, Dungeon Siege.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, those are all like Uwe Boll movies.
Yeah, they were all just like, and they said they were all just cash in just because, like, you know, the movie rights to a video game, you know, depending on what game it was, probably pretty cheap.
It's funny that like the director of Dead or Alive was criticizing Uwe Boll and how much he sucked at movies, and then the director puts out Dead or Alive.
This 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie did so badly and embarrassed Nintendo so much that they refused to make any new Nintendo property movies up until they did a Pokemon movie a couple of years ago. The new Super Mario Brothers movie, the animated one, came out in 2023, 30 years after the original Super Mario Brothers movie came out.
And that's how long they thought it would take to wash that memory out of people's minds. However, it's stuck forever.
Yeah, they thought in that amount of time that the wounds would have completely healed. And they healed enough for them to go and make a much better movie, even though you didn't like that one either. I liked the new one, but I liked the new one enough where I gave them permission if they want to go make Zelda.
I like the new one. It's just when a movie is good, it's not as memorable as when it's like bad good to me.
That's true. Unless it's like an epic movie, like where they're doing stuff I've never seen before, and in that point forward, all new movies are kind of based on what this movie did.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Star Wars did that. Like after Star Wars came out, there was no going back.
So that's kind of where I am with the new Super Mario Brothers. If there's a sequel, do I want to see it? Yes.
I think in the sequel, they're going to have it where Mario falls asleep. He ends up in the Mario Brothers 2 world, and he has to go fight Wart.
Well, I'm betting at least there's going to be Yoshi.
I would love it if they did that, though, where they actually just followed the games, and they actually, like, no one's ever done that, where they actually just took each game and just made the game into a movie, do it as close as they can. Mm-hmm. Like, they kind of blew some of the stuff already, but maybe they can go and, like, hope that the audience might be a little forgetful and redo some of it. You know, they could have it where he can learn how to fly with the raccoon tail and everything, and that could be Super Mario Brothers 3, and then 4 could be where he goes to Mario World and to Yoshi.
There's a way back, there's a Nintendo Power that was going through looking for ideas for contests, and somebody wrote in and said, you know, that for the winner, Nintendo should find a way to genetically alter the person so that they can be the raccoon in Super Mario Bros. 3 for real. And Nintendo's like, no.
They could make a whole thing of it where he finds the leaf, and as soon as he touches the leaf, like, he gets a tail and everything, and he's like, what the hell is this? I didn't sign up for this. You know, they have him freaking out and everything.
No, run really fast and see what happens.
Yeah. All of a sudden he takes off and he's like, this is amazing.
Here's a question I want to ask. New Super Mario Brothers movie versus Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think the Mario Brothers are more to the source material. A lot more Easter eggs and nods to Nintendo series and all that. But Sonic was the one who kind of made it possible for the Super Mario Brothers movies to come out in the first place. Because Nintendo really was watching to see what the Sonic movies did.
Sonic was like the X-Men for Marvel. Way back when X-Men hit and everything was all of a sudden at that point point. Now everything's taken off.
Yeah, because I like the Sonic movie.
Yeah, Sonic. I don't like Sonic games, but I will say the Sonic movies. I actually like the Sonic movies better than I like the Super Mario movie.
I can see that. One of the things that they do in the Sonic movies is they kind of imply that stuff happened beforehand. So if you want to say, well, what about the games? Games, they're implying some of the games happen. Like at least the first game happened. They imply that.
So I think we've about summed those ones up.
The live action Super Mario Brothers movie is almost so bad it's good, but it's just kind of so bad it's bad.
Yeah, go see it. Somebody's more important.
Yeah, you gotta get it.